Peter Obi cannot become the next president because he made the worst mistake. Prophet Godwin Ikuru. It is no longer news that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Obi, has picked Dati Baba Ahmed as his running mate ahead of the 2023 presidential election. Baba Ahmed was announced as Peter Obi's running mate in an occasion that took place yesterday at the party's secretariat. Following the development, Nigerians have been speaking about the choice of Obi and his chances in the forthcoming general elections. Meanwhile, the presiding pastor of Jehovah Eye Salvation Ministry, Prophet Godwin Ikuru, has maintained that no matter the choice of Peter Obi, he cannot become the next president. Speaking through his Facebook page on Saturday, Prophet Godwin Ikuru said Obi has already made a huge mistake that will deprive him of becoming the next president of Nigeria. According to the man of God, Obi should not have left the PDP as his current party lacks a structure that would help him to win. He also said Obi should have stayed in PDP, which would have made it easier for Atiku to pick him as his running mate. But Peter Obi did not want to become vice. He wanted to become president. And if PDP wasn't going to give him the platform, he left. Thing is, this is literally the game. At the end of the day, they're all this political game. I don't know what to define it as, but what we can say for sure is we've seen politicians jump from one party to another, and it just shows that it is their interest that is at heart. And Peter Obi's interest was to be president, and the party was not going to give it to him. So he left. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not particularly sure of his running mate. I wouldn't say I know about him extensively to give a judgment and say, oh, he's right or he's not right. However, giving if you take everything in its simplistic terms and just understanding that Peter Obi is not here to bash or push ethno-religious sentiments as the core of his campaign, therefore it would be wise or strategic and more tactical for him to pick, I guess, someone from the north as a presidential candidate. It is shameful that we have to think of this, but we cannot undermine or just close our eyes and just pretend like identity politics does not exist in Nigeria. In fact, it plays a very big factor as to whether you get the support or not. Not even as a presidential candidate, but as a political party. So I am not sure of how the selection process actually works. Is it Peter Obi that chooses or the political party that chooses? At the end of the day, we know that president and VP, they work together. So we assume they want each other. They requested for themselves. You never really know. But this prophet saying that he's made the worst mistake because he's also left PDP and PDP has the best structure, it's just inconsequential. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It's the people that are the structure. If we really say we're a democracy, again, majority carries the ruling vote. It's as simple as that. So the majority of people being the structure and being the determinant of what the outcome is, they themselves are the structure. We cannot forget that. We cannot forget that. So I don't know what he means by the worst mistake, because if you're going to give, the reason is just not strong enough, it's not solid enough, it doesn't hold weight. If you're going to go back to the same tactic or the same narrative of structurelessness or lack of structure, whatever word you want to put, you might as well just your speech, your talk is just doesn't add any value. Why? Because if you're going to give a strategic reason, given given the fact that he's from the north, the fact that he's an educationist, or whatever reason you want to give, but giving your reasons based off of APC or based off of the fact that he left, based off of the fact that he left the PDP, this does not hold any weight at all. So you might as well just not even consider what you're saying anyway. Well, in my opinion. First comment. Prophet, if your God tells you that Nigeria will continue like this with expired politicians not offering a solution, I cannot argue with you or your God, but permit me to say that God is not fair to Nigerians. Allow us to go for a leader of our choice and not follow unguided prophecies which sources are doubtful. You don't become a prophet by choosing to prefix prophet to your name. prophets are called by God and God speaks through them. Basically, this person trying to say that I don't know who spoke to you, but I'm doubting that it's God. Well, it is what it is. Um, Another comment states, we have gone beyond that, prophet. Please try to be updated. Nobody is talking about structure again. Exactly my point. I'm like, really, of all reasons to put out there, of all reasons, we've gone past that point. It's so like you might as well just not even have said anything, you know, because structure is the least and is not an effective argument tactic anyway. So that's pretty much it. Igbos are already scared. I can't wait to see them beg APC for position after the election. Now that will not happen. Um, Another person here states, that's the truth about your Peter Obi's chance of winning the election. Key to the point and realign instead of abusing him. If okay. I will not say you didn't prophesy, but in whose name are you doing it? Remember, our God is not mocked. Do not use the name of the Lord God in vain. Predictions are not prophecy. Mark my words, because I have seen all your stuff as predictions. Please search and pray for good revelations before you speak. And again, this is very, as much as for some who are easy to just disregard or be selective about what they believe and what they do not believe, I think, the Nigerian system itself raises a lot of people to be very gullible, especially with the influence of sentiments as regards religion and ethnicity. So in this case, we cannot undermine again when it comes to religion and how it is practiced in Nigeria. You know, personally for me, I'm like, sir, this is just irrelevant, and if anything, you really should not be engaging in discourse like this. However, we cannot put them out. Why? Because they hold such a position that we even see politicians going to pastors and going to these religious leaders to ask for advice or to ask for support and promotion. So as much as we might say all these things, or we're able to like decipher and pick out and say, sir, excuse me, first of all, it's nobody that can deceive. The thing is, he also has his followers, and again, I didn't say God's followers, I said his followers. I mean, those that he's directly influencing. And so those are susceptible to, if they don't think for themselves, or if they're not able to just detach and then break things down for themselves or deceive, they would probably still follow and hold the same views as this man. I mean, it's safe to say that whatever your pastor is voting for in a typical Nigerian church, that church may even be voting for that same person in that same direction. Well, if they even have the PVCs in the first place, or the pastor even has his PVCs. Put what you think in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.